Hey y'all, I have not talked about a trial in a while. I have a new trial to talk about. I think this one's going to be interesting. I found it interesting. Let's talk about it. Before we get started into the details of the trial, I got a question for you. This will help give some clarity of what this trial is about. My question is, do you believe a person with an intellectual disability has the cognitive ability to stand trial and to have a fair trial? All right. So now let me tell you a little bit about the case. So it's a guy, his name is Sammy Williams, and it's a case down in Florida. He's a 43-year-old homeless man that's charged with a first-degree unaliving of a poking of a 14-year-old boy. This is known to be a random attack that happened on November the 15th of 2021. All right. At first, when this case first started, because based on what I looked up in the trial, it says that the defense was trying to focus on mental health and not being stable enough to go to trial, but it was later determined that he was within the cognitive abilities to stand trial. However, just based on my background in mental health and things of that nature, it does seem like allegedly he is on possibly the spectrum or has some type of intellectual disability for sure. All right, so let's talk about what the prosecution is saying. They're saying that this was a random attack. However, today in court, they elicited to the fact that they feel like this was a premeditation. They have DNA evidence. They also found a bandana in Mr. Williams' backpack. All right, so now, they went through the jury selection process to make sure that they had the selected jurors that were jurors of his peers, and Mr. Williams agreed to the jurors and the alternates. So today, they started opening statements. Today is January the 15th. So during opening statements, the state made their statements focusing on the evidence and how they will be able to prove that Mr. Williams did the crime. I'm sorry. The defense got up right after and basically alluded to the fact of having it was a lax investigation. There were some things that were done in the investigation that should cause reasonable doubt. Now, after opening statements, they went right into witness testimony. During witness testimony, the mother got up, which was very sad because it's always sad when someone loses their life. She got up to talk about the night of the incident. Also, a man got up who found the glasses that were on the trail, because this happened on like a trail path. And he found some glasses that he took home and cleaned them. Then when he heard about the crime, he went and took them to the police department. And he found these while he was on the trail. Then lastly, the day ended with like law enforcement getting up, talking about evidence that was collected and things of that nature. My final thoughts as of right now is that I feel like the defense is doing really well with opening up reasonable doubt to have you thinking about, could this have really been Semmie that committed this crime? And then also, I do believe that the judge is managing her courtroom efficiently and making sure that Mr. Williams has a fair trial. Like I said, I feel like Mr. Williams and his intellectual disability, you can noticeably see how he's acting in court that kind of cause you concerns of like, we got to make sure that things are going right in this courtroom to make sure that he does have a fair trial. Now, I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm just saying he deserves a fair trial. And especially when you see someone who has some type of disability, you want to make sure that even those people have a fair trial. Now, remember, I asked you a question. Let's do this question again, and y'all put a comment. Do you believe a person with intellectual disabilities has the cognitive ability to stand trial and have a fair trial? Tell me what you think. You can always find information about this trial and watch it live on YT. But I want to know y'all thoughts in the comments.